Welcome aboard. I'm Captain Wayne Canning, and I'll be your host for this Ocean Navigator Magazine Voyaging Tips video. It only takes a small failure to lead to a catastrophic failure on board a boat, and this is particularly true when it comes to rigging. So before you head offshore, even for a short passage, you should do a quick walk around and a visual inspection of your rigging. Now, this isn't meant to replace a full rigging inspection. A full rigging inspection can take hours and should be done, particularly before you do any long offshore passages. But often a quick 20 or 30 minute inspection before heading offshore for a short passage or for coastal cruising can be well worth the effort. A couple of simple tools that you'll want to use for doing your rigging inspection will be a magnifying glass and a piece of Scotch-Brite pad for cleaning the rigging. You may also want to carry a little bit of lubricant such as Tough Gel for just tuning up things as you move along. First thing you're going to want to do is just do a walk around on the deck, checking the fittings at deck level. I like to start with the shrouds and chain plates. Get down on your hands and knees and take a look at each of the fittings. Inspect carefully for any cracks, cleaning the fittings as you go, because sometimes cracks can be very hard to see. Use the magnifying glass as you do. Check the chain plates. Look for any signs of pulling or lifting of the chain plates. And check for any cracking around the sealant if the chain plate goes through the deck. Inspect carefully once again for cracks or any anomalies. Make sure all the cotter pins are properly in place and everything looks to be in good condition. Also check the rigging screws or turnbuckles. All of these can be signs of problems. Also, just give a quick hand feel for the tension of the stays. Do they all feel about the same? Are any stays particularly loose that weren't before? All these observations can be helpful in spotting problems. Do the same thing with the forestay and the backstay. Make sure that the chain plates look like they're in good condition. If your forestay is fitted with a roller furling mechanism, you want to check that over carefully as well while you're up there. Just check for any damage on any of the fittings. This is particularly true of forestays because sometimes forestays get damaged during docking or other maneuvers, so you want to inspect this carefully. If all your stays and fittings look to be in good condition, the next thing I like to check is around the base of the mast. Check any lines or blocks that come down there and make sure that everything looks like it's in good condition. If the mast is deck stepped, you just want to do a quick inspection of the step. Make sure it doesn't look like it's shifted or there's any problems there. If it's through deck, just check the partners and make sure that they're tight and secure. Next, I'll move up the mast and check any fittings around the gooseneck. Check that everything is secure, there's no loose cleats or anything. I'll then check the gooseneck itself. On more than one occasion, I've had a gooseneck come loose while offshore. This can be a real pain in the ass. So you want to make sure that all the fittings on the gooseneck are in good condition, that any cotter pins, shackles, everything's all good and tight and in good condition. Follow the boom aft. Make sure all the fittings on the boom are in good condition. Make sure all shackles are good and tight and nothing's loose. Check the main sheet. Check all of the blocks and fittings on the main sheet as well. Inspect sheaves. A lot of times pulley sheaves get damaged by UV, so you want to make sure that all of this is in good condition and that there's no cracking on any of the sheaves throughout the system. If your boat's equipped with a traveler, check that over carefully. Make sure that all of the fittings are in good condition. Once again, check all of the shackles and make sure they're good and tight. One small shackle pin coming loose can lead to a disaster. Operate as much of the equipment at dock as you can. Check all of the winches. Make sure all the pulleys turn freely and that there's no binding on anything. Now is the time to discover problems. If you have time and you are able, a quick trip aloft can be well worth the effort. Any sailboat rig is like a chain. One weak link and the whole thing comes apart. So a few quick checks can save you a lot of trouble and potentially a disaster. Well, that concludes this Ocean Navigator Magazine's Voyaging Tips video. I hope you found it useful. If you have a voyaging tip you'd like to share with our readers, please let me know. Maybe I'll make a video out of it. Please check out Ocean Navigator Magazine's YouTube channel for more voyaging tips and sailing videos. Also, be sure to check out Ocean Navigator Magazine at your local newsstand and Ocean Navigator Magazine online. Until next time, I'm Captain Wayne, wishing you fair winds and following seas.